Alright, so last week I launched my blog site with Next.js as a way for me to write about development, software development stuff, in case I couldn't find an idea for a YouTube video. And for the content for the blogs, I used Prismic as a CMS content management system. And while for the most part it was pretty smooth, I did have some troubles with the formatting, but that's besides the point. Now, I want to talk about something that is very specific to Next.js, and that is caching. Oh my god, I could rant about this all day. I mean, this has been an ongoing issue for like a year now, since Next.js 13, when they completely redid how caching works in Next.js. Like, they force you to cache data that you really have to update. There's no other way around it. And even though Prismic tries to handle this as best as it could, I'll get to the code in a bit, but to kind of explain, I need to show an example for it. So this blog right here that I posted on March 26th, it wouldn't show up when I, in my production app, but it would show up in my localhost, just instantly. And this one obviously showed up because it's like the only thing, this was posted. I published this before the second one. So to give an example, I'll go ahead and create a new post. Let me just zoom in, and I'll try to publish it, just to give you an example of what's going on. So test doc, and I'm publishing this on March 28th, 2024. And now if I click save and publish, now notice during in production, the one that I deploy, the application I deployed on Vercel, it doesn't show up immediately. Now, this is expected, but, when you refresh again, there it is. Okay. I mean, it works again, and that's good. But, when I tried this out, it didn't. I had to, I don't know, remove, delete the cache from my browser and try. And I went even as far as going back to my Vercel dashboard and literally, I went there and just redeployed the entire application. Now, I did find a workaround that I will show you right now. So what the configuration was. So right here, basically you have the create client. This is the function that connects your Next.js app to a Prismic repository, and repository is another name for basically a project in Prismic. But then you have an options object that takes in the fetch options, and then you can add an option, add a next. You can add config settings for next, and one of them is revalidate. So revalidate means to look for stale data and refetch all over again. It didn't work with this previous settings. So we're checking if this is if this application is in a production environment, do revalidate this tag right here. The problem is that you had cache force cache, so it's literally just forcing the cache in the application to use the cached version. And during development, just revalidate the data every 5 seconds. Now, according to the documentation, force cache means if there's a match and it is fresh, it will be returned from the cache. So if the data from that is fetched from the server is a match to the data that is cached, it will return the cached version of that data. Now, if both versions of the data aren't a match, it will revalidate the data and update the cache. So this is the expected behavior that is not happening. So what I did was basically I had to revalidate this every minute if it's in production, and only 5 seconds during development. So it technically works, but again, we're running into the issue that the server is still making a request and still needing to cache data again and again, every minute, and it might cost me, I don't know, maybe it's not the most cost efficient way of doing it. Now I have to look into the docs, into my Vercel dashboard later to see if there's any cost from constant data revalidation from the constantly making calls to the server. And the craziest thing is that Prismic automatically creates a route handler to revalidate the data, and it's not even by tag. It's not even revalidating by the path. It's revalidating by tag name. So it's going to revalidate any page with the tag Prismic. So yeah, it's not really Prismic's fault. It's just Next.js basically being, well, Next.js. So I'll just archive this because we don't need this anymore. So yeah, that is just very my very short rant about Next.js caching and how that affects my blog. But for the most part, it was a pretty easy I mean, I like Prismic. I could do a separate video about this, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.